Welcome to our Introduction to Hip Hop Production with GarageBand for iPad project. Over the next 5 sessions, we're going to explore the key elements of hip hop music, and you're going to produce 2 solid hip hop tracks. I listen to a lot of hip hop, but I'm not a hip hop expert, so I've invited Sarah Bentham, singer, vocalist, drummer. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Ben.
So, Sarah, could you tell us how you first got into music?
When I was about 13, my mum bought me a drum kit, and I was allowed to have it in my bedroom, which was great. Joined a band in school. We played a lot of gigs around the Scarborough area. Once school had finished, I went to music college in York, where I learned to play guitar, got more confident with my vocals, and did a production course. Now, I'm nearly 30, and I'm in a ska band, but it's not just ska music. We play drum, bass, and hip-hop, all kinds of genres of music, like mashed together in one. And I'm the lead vocalist and the guitarist in that band, and I write most of the songs, so that's what I'm up to now.
Great. And could you tell us what is a particular draw for hip-hop? Why are you interested in hip-hop in particular?
I only really started listening to hip-hop about 4 or 5 years ago when I heard this guy called George Watsky. I really liked his songs. They're really catchy songs, and I really like the way his lyrics flow. I've always been very interested in rhythm and how it fits together in a song. So this guy, he writes these very clever words, very clever rhythms, and always has a really catchy chorus in the middle, which is really important in hip-hop. You always need a hook.
Brilliant. Brilliant. So we're going to do hooks in the 3rd session, but right now we're going to look at samples. So in the beginning, when hip-hop first started, it was all about DJs who had vinyl on turntables, records, and they'd take a little bit of a song and play it over and over again, and that's what people would rap over. With GarageBand, you can take a whole palette of these samples and arrange them. So that's what we're going to do. Let's crack on. So begin by opening GarageBand, the app, pressing plus to create a new song, and in the Live Loops menu, choosing the Hip Hop Live Loops set. You can see here there's a grid, and each cell contains a different sample or loop, and each row is a different instrument. So the first 3 rows are drum machines, so all those samples play different types of drum patterns. Then below that you've got a bass synthesizer, which plays different bass patterns. Below that we've got a harmony synth, so that's a synth that plays more than one note at the same time. And next we've got 3 synths that play different melodies. And then at the bottom we've got a row of special effects. The GarageBand designers have given us a suggested arrangement by dividing the samples up into columns, so you can touch at the bottom and play every single loop in the column. Notice how the columns with lots of loops have a really thick texture, whereas the ones with less loops have got a thin texture, and this provides different contrast to your song, which is really important to create an interesting arrangement. But we don't have to use the columns that they've created. We can trigger individual cells to make our own arrangement, or a combination of individual cells and whole columns. The important thing is to create an arrangement that's interesting without feeling too choppy and disconnected. The arrangement should have a beginning, a middle and an end, and last for about 30 or 40 bars, which is between 7 and 15 different 4-bar cycles. It should have a clear beginning, middle and end, and plenty of contrast. So I'm going to give you an example here. My beginning has a very thin texture, and now I'm starting to add. So I've got harmony, I've got rhythm, now a special effects. And now a very strong melody. So you see how I built things up one by one. And notice also how I triggered the next sample just before it was due to come in the last quarter of the cycle going round, and this allows the sample to come in at exactly the right time, so it doesn't come in too late. When the arrangement's ready, we're going to try and record it. Press the record button, wait for the count of 4, then record in your piece. So you can see at the top there, the red bars are showing that I'm recording. And see how I'm triggering each sample before they start. I'm queuing them up so they're ready to come in at exactly the right time. So a really strong contrast there to keep the listener entertained and the music interesting. So now we've got a really strong change in texture and a different feeling to the music, so I can build things back up from the beginning. So there, I really want to demonstrate the importance of contrasting textures and keeping things moving and flowing. Now you might find after you've done all that it's only recorded the first 8 bars, in which case you need to press a plus up there, section A, and make sure it's turned to automatic in the bars sections, but this only happens in some cases. Now you can see a new button has appeared at the top. We're going to press on it and it's going to take us to the track view page. Zoom out with 2 fingers and you can see the entire arrangement. So you can see I've got my beginning, my middle and my end there. We're now going to add some effects. Open the effects menu, that button at the top there, start your track playing and have an experiment. So see how I'm using effects just before a change in texture to add tension and release. So you saw there are 6 effects to choose from, plus the ones in the middle. And what we're trying to do is create tension and release, so movement in the piece to keep the music interesting. And it's easiest to do this just before a new section when you're going from a thin texture to a thick texture, or vice versa. When you've got a set of effects you're happy with, you can record them in the same way by pressing the record button at the top and adding the effects as it plays. So you see there, I'm releasing the effect just before the new instrument comes in, so when it comes in it's got extra power. Same again there. And now if we zoom down, close the effects and zoom down, you can see that the effects recording is at the bottom in purple. The last thing we're going to do is name our song and export it to SoundCloud so you can share it with your friends and family. Press My Songs in the top left hand corner and then tap on the name of the song, not the song itself but the name. Rename it with your name and whatever you want to call the song and then press done. Next, make sure you're connected to the internet, then press and hold on the song so it wiggles. Press the export button in the top left, find SoundCloud, log in and upload your piece. I've created my own version of what we've done today, and I'm going to invite Sarah to do some MCing over the top before we go. Ready?
Ready.
Introduction. Thicker texture. Here we go.
Let it be, don't you kill the buzz. We are not violent thugs. We're making hippie signs with rainbows every Beatle would. So go and give a hug to a tree Norwegian wood. Or would it be hard and giving a pardon for the lads he shook? The only thing I'm saying is that we all want the same thing when the sky's illuminating. I don't believe in hating. No, I don't believe in hating. No, I don't believe in hating, and I hope you get here soon. We'll get a bag of balloons, and we can fill them full of vests, so we can hit the moon. And when the clock strikes 1 and the mouse comes out, we can both laugh at the cow when it jumps over the clouds.
Sarah Bentham representing. Yes. Amazing. That was this week. Next week, we're going to look at some drum beats, and we're going to add strings and start to create our own big piece.
It's going to be awesome. See you then.